name is Tadeusz Rudek and I am a PhD student at Jagiellonian University, the Institute of Sociology. Today I would like to tell you more about why and how use SSH data in NGO work. But to begin, we have to understand what is SSH. SSH means Social Science and Humanities, this type of studies that puts the human behaviors and relations in social, political and cultural contexts on the center of this analysis. So we are looking at different types of behaviors, the future imaginations of different people and how it influences the society. In energy transition, we are talking about the behaviors, the practices connecting to the energy, but also how the role of imaginaries of the future are shaping our current context and are shaping our future in Europe and beyond. Today we will focus on three perspectives to answer our question: EU Commission, NGOs and SSH. I will try to make you understand how our field can be helpful in your work from both perspectives of policymakers and NGOs. Let's begin with the EU Commission, and I would like to thank Gerd Schönwelder, a policy officer, the representative of the European Commission, whose work and also the contribution to this video and masterclass was very much appreciated. Thank you, Gerd. So for the Commission, it is very important to have a broad look with the understanding of citizen engagement. What is citizen engagement from the perspective of EU Commission? We can talk about in three dimensions also: communication, public consultations and deliberative democracy exercises. Communication, it has also its limitations because the EC is sharing their perspective on the citizens, on residents, on local residents, European citizens, about their policies and about their future tasks. But this communication is very much often one way. We need to develop it to be more open-ended and to have this also perspective from the residents to the policymakers. Public consultations, they are based on the dialogue, but they very often lack continuity. They open and end without any important answers and without real engagement of citizens or local residents. There are at least also deliberative democracy exercises, but they need very much of citizen engagement. They need to have this very active engagement of our citizens. And that's also important role for the NGOs, to build this capacity, to build that community that will be engaged in the future of its kind of creating the future. But I would like to remember you here that SSH, the Social Science Humanities, are not only about the social acceptance. That's much broader perspective, including different types of knowledges, to producing knowledge, of answering different questions. Please bear in mind it. But let's move back to the Commission. What they really need from the NGOs. What they really need from the NGOs that have the SSH perspective. They need to know you. They need to know your NGO. You have to be visible in a European scale and also in the global contexts of your country, of your local community. The Commission needs to understand the surroundings, the local surroundings. So NGOs should think globally, but act locally. They need to provide answers about the local residents and the local communities. Commission needs to know what kind of communication channels are effective and what kind of communication channels are both-sided, so they can share the perspective of policymakers and the perspective of citizens. They have to meet each other. So that's also an important place for the NGOs. And four, they need to get results from your proposals, from your work, and that are very much easy implemented into their policies. So the results must be very much easy to implement into the European Commission policy making. Let's have a look from the other perspective, the NGOs. And I would like to thank Zuzanna Sasiak from Polish Green Network for contributing to that masterclass and web training. Thank you, Zuzanna. So, NGOs, during our masterclass, posed 5 very important questions. What makes the government listen to the citizens? How to stimulate the development of civil movements? How to seek partners? How to make people interested in these centered topics? And what type of messages are working? Isn't it relevant that they are very similar to those perspectives from Commission? I think they're very much complemented. So have a look what our perspective, the perspective of SSH scholars, can be helpful in reaching these commitments. So we will provide 5 answers to 5 questions from the NGOs and policymakers. First, we as scholars and many different universities and scholars working in the social science humanities field are providing a new understanding of social acceptance. Acceptance that is not only based on the educating the citizens about the changes that have to be made, but also engaging citizens. It is a very much inclusive perspective that gives the citizens the power to decide, to be part of the process of an investment, of a political change, of a transition. Second, energy communities, just transition, energy democracy. These are very much important concepts in our future energy transition in Europe. We have to think more about them. And SSH perspective gives an answer to that, how we can understand it, how it can work and how it cannot work. What are the possible outcomes of implementing those changes into our society. Let's have a look at our annotated bibliographies, which are available on our website. These are works that are combining different perspectives on those issues. So go to the website, click annotated bibliographies and check what we can have for you there. Third question, the support networking. We, as an Energy Shifts project, created a very big database that is very useful for you to be in touch with different kinds of people working in energy transition. Fourth, how to make people interested in those issues. We've made a series of scoping workshops when we were trying to understand the motives and ideas that are behind the people's interesting into the energy issues. Have a look at our report and scoping workshops. I think you will find a lot of relevant data there. 5, new narratives. The future is bringing different views, how it look like. The future is bringing something new for us. That's why the media studies, socio-technical imaginaries, discourses are important to know and are important to have a deeper consideration on those. We have to imagine our future in order to change our presence. We have to get to know how different people in different parts of Europe, in Spain, in Poland, in Italy, in France are imagining the future and what in that future for them is relevant and important. Please have a look also at our Policy Fellows report. It is a huge amount of work that we have done, and I think that's a huge amount of knowledge that you can use in your work. NGOs and policymakers have same questions, and I really think that SSH is giving an answer to them. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that you're watching it, and please, if you have any questions, go to our website, check our social media channels, or contact us directly. We are happy to help you. We are happy to create a new future.